Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Age of Wonders Planetfall, where today, obviously, we are starting a new game. I picked the Ravaged World scenario pretty arbitrarily just because I thought it looked both cool and pretty different from the thing we did in the last game. Probably. I don't actually know how different these are from one another. And we're going to turn up the difficulties a little bit here. So opponent level all the way up to very hard. I really feel like we're early enough in learning this game that I should not be winning. So I'm a little disappointed that I was able to beat the hard AI. We're going to try very hard. Hopefully they'll make some better moves during combat. It seemed like the hard AI was doing a fine job of expansion and resource gathering, all of like the strategic map level stuff, and then was just miserable at playing the part where you use the units to kill the other units. So I'm hoping very hard will increase their capabilities in that arena. We're also going to turn the world threat level up to moderate. This is the strength of the independent factions. I kind of feel like on low, the independent factions were already more dangerous than the player factions were, so maybe this doesn't need to go up. But if we turn this up and we end up losing a game, you learn a lot from a loss, generally. We're going to leave the other stuff alone for right now. I'm not going to play with the advanced setup too much. We're starting to get a handle on what a game of Planetfall actually looks like. We're not yet ready to go monkeying around in the menus. And then here, people have asked more than once, so I guess we'll go ahead and do it for custom hero creation. We're gonna make our character. So the thing that people asked for more than the faction that people asked for more than any other was the Syndicate. I'm also pretty interested in the Amazon. We saw some Amazons, and I feel like their units were kind of cool looking. Maybe we'll do them next game, but Syndicate for now. So they have the Arc and Psi weapons groups, both of which we're pretty familiar with because our last faction had Arc and the Kirko have Psi. Indentured slave units ignore morale penalties. Is that how indentured slavery works? I feel like it imposes some pretty serious morale penalties, but alright. And excellent stealth capabilities and covert operations. That's actually probably a good thing because we didn't really play with the covert operations mechanics at all in the previous couple of games, so this will give us a good excuse to really dig into that stuff and learn how it works. And then Celestian. Celestian was the secret technology that the most people seem to call out. The Celestians are an ancient order of psionically gifted individuals that strive to achieve inner enlightenment and create balance and harmony in the universe. Really pretty much completely incompatible with all of the text over here. The slavery, even if it's just indentured slavery, and the covert operations and whatnot. Hard to imagine a society with these values believing in this thing. But then, I guess we see stranger even today in our current world. Sway enemy soldiers and colonists to your cause, NPC diplomacy bonuses, strong morale buffing, and damage reflection. Okay, so this might be a good game to pursue that diplomatic victory condition then, if we're gonna do this thing. So let's set all these back to 0. So we have these 4 categories of buffs, or rather 3 categories of buffs and 1 category of penalties that we can purchase with our perk points here. I guess we'll just go through them real quickly. So the background for our character. He could be a veteran, starting at level 3, and all units gain 15% more experience for the entire game. That seems actually pretty good. But if we're thinking about trying to win a diplomatic-type victory, the one that has diplomat in its name is probably a good fit. 300 extra relation with all races, excluding your own. And influence cost for bribing armies to leave sectors is reduced. That second thing is fine. I don't think we find ourselves terribly pressed on influence all that often, although maybe we will if we're going for a diplomatic victory or probably interacting with people more often. I don't know. This seems okay. It seems to fit what we're doing. Let's check the other ones, though. Martial Tradition gives a decrease in weapon research costs, and once per turn, when your commander kills a unit, they get all their action points back. That seems extremely powerful. I mean, I guess it's got to be good to be worth the two perk points. But this one seems just really great. Economy research costs down. Dwelling trading is 10% cheaper. Does that just refer to the headquarters regions of neutral factions? I think that's what a dwelling is, right? That doesn't seem like that great of a bonus. How often are you trading for dwellings? It certainly doesn't seem as good as martial tradition. Decreases secret tech research cost by 15%, and rewards from pickups, sites, and structures are increased. I really don't like it when game developers write tooltips like this. There should be a number there, right? Expose the math. Rewards from pickups, sites, and structures are increased by 50%? By 100%? Is it different for each one? It's hard for me to know whether this is a good use of 2 perk points, because I don't actually know what it does, right? And then Covert Operative decreases Society Operations research cost and gives Covert Strength and Covert Defense. That also seems pretty good. Maybe we'll come back and switch this from Diplomat to Covert Operative if we have points left over after looking at the other stuff. So this affects our colony setup. We can start with 2 random techs, 300 extra energy, a larger starting army, again pretty ambiguous, or colonist cryopods, 2 extra population and a recreation dome. That does seem like a pretty powerful kickstart to your economy. Yeah, that would get you rolling really quickly. We might want to take that. It's expensive, but it's powerful. If we stick with Syndicate basic equipment for our commander loadout, we'll just have a pulse repeater and a sci-tech grenade, equipment that's pretty familiar to us at this point. If we do this, we get some starting perks and also Inferno Fists. Yo, that sounds actually extremely cool. And an Ego Bomb. Syndicate assault equipment is the pulse repeater and the sci-tech grenade. Okay, yeah, it's the same as the Syndicate basic equipment, but it has 2 points of skills for free. And I mean, those are good skills. Sharpshooter gives you a sniper rifle and the arc bolas, which is cool. Ooh, or we could start with a vehicle. I did like having a vehicle on our heroes an awful lot in that last game. So a hover bike which possesses powerful psionic capabilities. That's just a wild sentence. Psionic hover bike might be one of the best 2-word phrases in the English language. Or you found a lost Imperial APC and repaired it. An Imperial APC with support abilities and a sci-tech grenade. That's kind of a cool idea. Our commander, who is like a powerful orator, just rides around in an APC shouting encouragement at our troops. Actually, I kind of really like that. And then a Vice. We can take a Vice to get back some perk points to spend on other stuff. So Cruel gives all of your colonies +4 unhappiness, but you... Oh, your commanding unit, right. You gain 200 morale each time you kill a unit in battle. That seems fine. It's probably a pretty good mix with martial tradition. So your commander gains 200 morale and then also gets all the action points back and goes on to potentially kill another guy later that turn. Kleptomaniac, you take 10 energy from your empire each turn, but you also get a free random mod. This one, effectively reducing your empire's energy income by 10 each turn doesn't seem like much of a cost, really. Because in the early game, like before you have a lot of units, you don't really need energy that badly. And by the time in the game where your army is large and you like really have a lot of energy upkeep going on, you can develop sources of energy that make 10 points a real drop in the bucket. It feels like this one is this one's a lot less of a penalty than Cruel is, so it's weird that they give back the same number of perk points. Provisionally, I'm going to say Kleptomaniac. See, it seems like it would be bad not to take it. Reckless partying and festivals reduce productivity in all colonies. Oof. A 10% production penalty everywhere feels real harsh. I mean, I guess, right, it gives you back 2 points. It has to be harsh. While you are the commander of an army, everyone is having a good time. Units in your stat gain 100 morale. I still don't have a good intuitive sense for how valuable 100 morale on each unit is. But really, the whole point of these is that they're supposed to be really bad, because they gotta make you earn those 2 points, right? You defunded the science department in your mission budget, reducing knowledge output by 10%. But you teach your army how to refuse change like you do. You and your commanding army gain +2 resistance to status effects. My experience in the real world has been that people who are very refusing of change generally are much more susceptible to status effects than others, but You know, it's a video game. I guess some things have to be fantastical. And this one is food down by 10%, but your hero gets 10 extra hit points. Okay. So all three of these are, yeah, they're reasonably harsh. The question is, do we want to take one of these in order to get ourselves some colonist cryopods? Does seem awfully good. We could drop skilled diplomat, or we could drop this down to like close combat equipment and just be the Inferno Fist guy. I kind of want to see how good this APC is, though. Maybe let's drop skilled diplomat. We'll just figure out the diplomacy stuff ourselves, so that we can start with colonist cryopods, because this seems very good. Okay, I think I'm comfortable with that. Oh, and then we gotta make them look like a thing. Honestly, this is not a bad look. There's some good mysterious stuff. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a good look, and then I saw the divided cape. This is extremely gauche. Let's press randomize a couple of times. Wait, maybe just once. Maybe we've found him. The bullets are, it's a symbol. He doesn't use them, obviously. I kind of like it, though. I don't know what this thing is, this implant that has like a ball just floating near his ear, but that's pretty cool. And his cape is mostly in one piece, which is a big bonus for me. Alright, show me some random names. Show me something that's as cool as Claudius Proton. Minte Stygion. It's, you know, it's close. It's good enough for me. Let's do it. Let's go out and make friends with everybody. Doesn't he just look like the friendliest person you've ever seen? Salutations, scion of the Syndicate. Your ancestors led the earliest conquest of space, gathering fortunes and establishing aristocratic houses across the galaxy. Despite having to submit to the Star Union, wealth, influence, and a caste of servants have followed your houses to this day. Nobility brings obligations. Don't let the collapse of the Union turn you into a petty robber baron. Oh yeah, we're the first nobility ever that wasn't also robber barons. Restore this planet to civilization. Yeah, it does look pretty rough, actually. Alright, let's get down there and see if we can't make a beautiful, wonderful utopia of this ravaged land. Well, somebody got here before we did. Check out these cool Marauder Guard bikes. I do think that these are Vanguard units, right? I think the Vanguard units have a really cool look to them. All right, let's get familiar with our dude. Oh man, our APC looks very cool. Yep, it's somewhat less effective if you're not inside of it. Like, we're not really taking advantage of the armor, just hanging out the top here. You could affix a loudspeaker to it. You'd still be able to shout at people. All right, so we have an APC-mounted cannon, not repeating. Worth noting. Sci-Tech grenade, which has a chance to cripple units, although it's a pretty low strength chance. You can deploy a flying repair drone that heals units. Okay, that's interesting. The word repair here kind of implies that the heal only works on, like, mechanical cyborg type units, but then it does just use the word heal in the actual text of the ability. I guess we'll have to try it out to really see. Start the APC scanners up to give targeting information to all friendly units, increasing accuracy by 15% and morale by 100 for all friendly units. That does seem pretty good. It does mean that the hero is going to spend a whole turn not doing anything at all, but 15% accuracy for everybody seems like a big deal. And it's all your friendly units in the battle, not just his army, right? So in those like late game battles where you're bringing 18 units or something to the field, this is a big bonus. Free action to regenerate 10% health per turn for 4 turns, that's fine. Psionic resistance, stagger resistance, a weakness to arc weapons, so we should watch out for that. He's a large target, so he's rolling cover, that's pretty cool. Okay, this is where that healing ability comes from. Okay, he seems like a cool unit. We've seen these Syndicate Overseer units before. Psionic attack that bypasses armor, which is cool. Target indentured unit suffers 5 damage but regains all their action points, gets stagger immunity, and their health cannot go below 1 until the start of the turn. Does not work on indentured that are unable to move and take actions. Okay, and then we have a heal and a removal of status effects. Big deal, because status effects are incredibly powerful. All indentured in this unit's armies gain a 10% critical hit chance. these guys are sort of the dude with the whip, right? Which is... It turns out we're the bad guys again. Somehow we picked the bad guys again. And then are these... Okay, so these are indentured. Indentured is not a type of... Indentured is not a quality a unit can have. It's the name of a particular unit. Okay. So there is an overseer present, and they're just shooty guys. Just totally normal shooty guys. Okay. Knockback... A 12 strength chance to knock back enemies. That's cool. It also has stagger, but it's very short range. So our normal attack has the normal attack range, and then we have this like shotgun blast thing. We can run up and knock a guy out of cover so that other indentured can get a clean shot. And we also have a runner. Oh, we know the runner. Yeah, this is that guy who has that thing where instead of dying, he does not die, and then he shoots arc bolas at you. Okay, these are cool units. These are units I'm familiar with and that I like. And these guys have stealth. Well, where's the description of that thing? The unit cannot be detected when standing on any hex. So, very effective scout. Yeah, Syndicate units seem, like, very good. NPC army of the Paragon faction. Okay, those guys are a little bit unsettling. Can we zoom in on what's going on with his eye? This is the closest I can get. Okay. Oh, these are super cool looking. I want some of these. Of the Paragon faction. Is this like a neutral faction we can make friends with? Because I want to. If we could do that, that would be great. We do have... Yeah, a region that is really well suited to industrial exploitation over here, so let's try to make that happen. That's probably our first expansion, right? Yeah, it's gotta be. Also, look at this. This is lovely. So my army power is 730, their army power is 720. They have just like, okay, some basic assault rifle units. Yo, these guys are cool too! What the hell? I want to play as the Paragon. Let's just do this thing. This was not one of my options, right? Well, we'll integrate them. We'll integrate them into our society. Through friendship and diplomacy, and not by murdering all of them. I don't have the option to talk to them. They're not a real faction. So I guess we'll have this guy go and explore in the other direction. So I'm probably sending my army down toward those dudes. Okay, it turns out this is not a land bridge. This goes nowhere. I mean, can we just have a quick chat? I don't really want to fight him. Salutations, Minte Stygion. Oh, man. What is going on here? This is also cool looking. Made up of decaying remnants of the ruling class of the Star Union. Hey, that's me. Cybernetic implants have allowed them to survive the centuries since the collapse. Bow before the mighty Paragon, heirs of the grand and noble Star Union. Chosen by the Emperor himself, we were destined to become the exemplars of human perfection. Today, in these barbaric times, the Paragon are the last line between anarchy and civilization. People who say that about themselves are always the problem, by the way. Tell us your intentions, Minte Stygion, and we will judge your worth. Okay, I'm all about being friends with you. My intention is to offer you aid. Promising words, although their truthfulness still remains to be proven. Let your actions speak, Minte Stygion. Serve the will of the Paragon, and you shall be rewarded with our favor. Okay, I'll serve the whatever. Go blow up some guys over here. Ruffians, outlaws, thugs! How dare they oppose the will of the Paragon? While we struggle to feed the children of our land, these robbers plunder and steal, causing the poor to suffer. There is no future in this. We're totally... Yep, they think of the children to us. We are totally the bad guys. Oh well, evil's a point of view is the lukewarm defense I would like to offer at this moment. Okay, so how do we win that thing? Where's the... Hold on. I need this. What exactly is the diplomatic type victory like? A unifier victory. This is the one we want. Requires the player to have a good overall reputation as well as good diplomatic relations with the various factions of the planet. You need to launch the planetary unification control operation. Can only be launched when you have the highest level of reputation, and the player or their allies have annexed 3 dwellings of factions they are at peace with. So we gotta make peace with people, we gotta annex them, and then we gotta just generally not get hated. We were holding pretty steady last game while also building doomsday devices, so my suspicion is it's not that hard to manage your reputation. Okay. So we know where the Planetary Unification Protocol operation is, because we did research it last game. So, yeah, we care about influence income a lot more this game than we have in the past. Got it. Alright, we already have a happiness thing. We have some bonus population. I guess I'm going to build a central biofarm, I think. Because we're going to expand into a high production area. Lots of people, lots of ability to build, helps you get all of your other resources. And we will totally annex the sector. It's going to happen. We've discovered the dwelling of Castricum Capital. It is a shame that their dwelling is so incredibly far away from our stuff. Also, there's a teleporter here, so that's potentially useful. Okay, these guys are not my objective. This is just a marauder army hanging out here. The objective is slightly beyond them. In a heavy weapons factory, it looks like. See, we're starting to get that experiential familiarity. I mean, do I want to just grab... It's going to be quite a while before we have the ability to get our second new area, so I probably do not want to just like grab District 7 so that we are expanding. Let's head over here, keep looking around. That's all. That looks like it's all coast as well. So we spawned sort of on the edge of a, maybe like a little peninsula area. Alright, Syndicate technologies. We can learn to exploit weakness with these... Ooh. The unit gains plus 20% accuracy. Seems like maybe one of the best mods available? That's... Man, that seems really good. And then also... All units in a 1 hex radius of the area have a chance to become blinded and have -2 resistance against flanking attacks. A lot of stuff in this faction so far that cares about flanking. And we're going to have some familiar options thanks to our arc weapons. I really think we want this. This seems great. This mod right here just seems bananas. Yeah, man, this seems way better than the other Tier 1 offensive mods. The stuff that we've had access to in previous games. Okay, so the ability, what do you call it? The unification protocol thing. Where is that exactly? Let's see, this is our doctrine line. Ooh. Receive 1 influence and 15 energy per turn for every faction you're at peace with, and this amount increases as your relationship improves. That seems like a very, very good doctrine. The indentured are seeking rights. Okay, I'm in favor of that. We can take advantage of this by making them sign a maintenance and ration reduction contract. And in trade they get citizenship and freedom at the end of this venture should they survive. Innate indentured units have a cost reduction... Okay, I mean, that seems not as good. I think let's get this. I guess we don't need this right this second. Now, you know what? Let's get frontier facilities so that we can build colonizers, right? That seems like a good thing to do early in the game. So we have a little bit of a sense of, like, the length of a game. A little bit more of an understanding of the shape of one of these games now. I'm gonna run this guy over here, because we're going to use him to help kill the marauders. We should be able to defeat this army. It's not going to be, like, totally trivial. I think we probably want to manual it, right? Try not to lose units in stupid ways. With it being a low-risk battle rather than a safe battle, I think there's some chance that we could have had a unit get lost if we don't do this manually. Then again, I might just do a terrible job and lose a unit the old-fashioned way. Are these red because they might explode? Yes. Yes, they are. Okay. Good to know. Remember, our hero is also cover. What is this thing exactly? A Bombardon. Well, that gives you, the name gives you a little bit of an indication. What a cool looking unit. Alright, a repeatable bombardment ability that, man, 15 base damage on a repeatable shot. It's pretty good. And then this is less good, but this guy, guy seems very scary. They got one of these bike things. We're familiar with the assault bike. We've gotten to use these a couple of times thanks to, mind control and stuff. This is an Amazon Biomancer. Can put people to sleep or slow them. Has a heal. Removes all non-psionic status effects. Interesting. All units of this type become scanned until the end of combat, giving them -2 resistance to all damage types. That's a cool ability. And an engineer. We know about engineers. In general, so at the beginning of learning the game, in general, I don't think it's useful to let's look at the units and read all the abilities and just let's try to remember the 17,000 things that we encounter over the course of the game. That stuff's not going to stick in your brain. That's a terrible method of learning. You want to get some experiential learning in first so that you have a foundation to start building on. Now that we know more about units and we know more about the way effects interact, it's much more useful to us to read this stuff. We can put it in our brains in a way that will actually make it meaningful and keep it. I'm still a little unsure of how aggressive to be at the beginning of combat, because we can move up into positions where we get to shoot, but we also are just going to get counter shot a lot. I guess we could do a cerebral override on somebody. We could move an indentured unit up, take a shot at this guy, and then override them and move to cover and take some more shots. Because I would love to kill this thing if we could. It has 60 health. It has 60 health, which is to say, probably we cannot. Probably we cannot kill it. Yeah, and five shields and 1 armor. That's pretty grim, man. He's gonna hit somebody for 10 million damage. Where's my... Okay, my extra runner is over on this side. I'm wondering if we sort of hang this guy out in the open. Not in the open, but, move him closer. Since we know he won't just up and die on us. What kind of defense mode does he have? Shields up? Okay. Because if we can draw this thing to attack a unit that we know it can't kill, and then pounce on it with people getting multiple attacks per turn, that might be something, right? I'm just going to move you to safety. We're just going to have to be a little cautious here. There's a pretty good chance that someone's going to die. Whoever he chooses to biocannon is probably going to get dogpiled. Unless we approach very slowly and carefully. So maybe that's the move then. Just approach very slowly and carefully. And we have to decide whether we want to use the APC scanner move now or use it next turn when people are actually firing. Instead of this unit getting to fire next turn. So what I really want is for the Bombardon to have to move forward to us, right? I don't want to go over there. I want him to come to me. He can get the first shot. I don't want to do the thing where we move forward and everybody shoots once and then each of their units fires back 3 times. Seems like a really good way to get everyone killed for very little benefit. I guess you just go into defense mode. We can use the hero to provide cover, but we gotta remember that this thing could hit up to 9 tiles away, so we really do need it to, we don't want to go much more forward than we are now. In fact, maybe we don't want to go any more forward than we are now? Then again, I mean, the runner's relatively safe. I think I'm inclined to spawn my repair drone this turn, and then we'll do tactical scanners before everybody attacks next turn. Okay, your heal is an actual heal. It works on biological units. I put you right behind the explosives, even though I knew... You know, it happens. I kind of think I'm just gonna do that. Let's try to bait them forward. Wait, who did that scan go off on? Okay, they're buffing each other up. Come on, move forward. Oh, that guy was able to just drive down that wrecked bit there. Okay, well, they didn't move the Bombardon forward, which is a real shame, but they did put some of this other stuff in harm's way. I mean, that's a total no-brainer. That must happen. And then I think we do, in fact, hit this, right? So with 100 extra morale, they have 0 morale. Maybe that display... Maybe they were at negative 100 before. Okay, no, this guy's... Huh. Alright, whatever. So you guys do bonus damage when flanking. This is a flank shot. You do have to move forward enough to lose an action point, or else you can't get in attack range. But this will turn the bike toward him, right? Oh, I thought units turned toward their attacker. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's still the right thing to do. And then we might just do a similar thing here. Move this runner up as well, and also take some flank shots. We're not going to get a kill. I'm not sure whether this is flanking or not. I guess if it's not, we can just move. Okay, this is flanking. We are not in front of him enough for him to get for him not to get the penalty. And then unfortunately he's been left at 1 health. Well, it is basically guaranteed that we get the kill with these dudes if we just go for it here. And we don't have a lot of action points. Like they're probably not going to do anything else this turn. We may as well just finish that job. Do we just want to Sci-Tech Revitalization? I mean, I'd love to move into a position where I have some cover. This has a range of 3 tiles. Yeah, just like back off and revitalize. And then we have some dudes who can take some shots. What's the cooldown on the explosion thing? Okay, short, but he won't be able to use it this next turn, so it doesn't hurt too much to group up a little bit. If I move to here, I can start shooting at that thing. I really do think it's the most important target. It's by far the most dangerous thing on the table. That has... Yeah, we couldn't even hit this guy with the big attack. Let's just start plinking away at him. It's going to take a couple. Going to take an attack or 2. Your move-up options are not very good. And I guess we can just move up to here and take a worse shot at somebody else. These guys are probably more important to kill than the engineers. Well, the engineers are going to create those turrets, and they're going to create them pretty frequently. It seemed like the cooldown on that ability is not very long. Okay, manipulate sleep. Yeah, that kind of thing is what we have to worry about. Alright, excellent escape module. So how do we deal with that? Immobilizing him isn't really going to help. He has to just be killed. Does the sleep thing wear off if we kill this unit? No. No, probably not. And we already used our heal, so we don't have easy removal of status effects anymore. That's a problem. Yo, this repair thing doesn't have a cooldown? I could just... Okay. Well, So then the move with this guy might be to have him run back so that we can heal him. Feels like there should be a cooldown on that, given how much it heals for. I think we would be foolish not to take advantage of that opportunity. They are just going to get me to leave that thing alone, aren't they? Yeah, I think so. You can't do your arc bolas. Already used this battle. I don't think that's correct. He's about to have his explosive again. Or he's going to be able to fire his explosive again on the next turn. So we want to be real careful about our positioning here. We can have one of our indentured units like really run up. Maybe like run up to here and then move the Overseer forward and give him back his action points and have him press this thing a little bit. Or just have him kill the Biomancer. Honestly, have him kill the Biomancer is probably a good idea. While approaching and getting into cover. So you need to be within one range of him. Okay, so we'd have to do it on this guy instead. That's totally fine, though. That's like a pretty reasonable plan of action, I think. Because the Overseer himself... Yeah, his psionic attacks bypass armor, not shields. So unfortunately, this guy's defenses are still largely functional. Really don't want to take cover behind the explosive, but also there's no other cover anywhere. And we have enough health, like we survived taking cover behind the explosive before. If doing that causes the Bombardier to focus on him the way it did last time, that's actually probably okay. As long as he doesn't actually die from doing it, it's probably advantageous. It means this thing's not shooting at all of our other units. Let's figure out if this guy's still going to be alive after we take our other units' actions. Kind of want to just... Yeah, like, this runner still has his Save My Life spell available. I'm just going to do this. We're just leaving this runner out in the open. Man, really? Ugh, my units are terrible. Let's see, we can't quite heal you. I guess the heal goes to this guy? I'm not too worried about flying units positioning. We may as well heal every turn, right? That seems super powerful. This APC thing, I think, is really good. You already don't get any benefit from cover. I want to move to a position where I'm not baiting the explosive attack. But, like, from right here, I do get 2 shots at yellow. Oh, no, that's right. I only have 1 shot no matter what. You have 5 health. How hard does the grenade hit? Yeah, 5 health with 3 shields. It's not quite going to do it. Alright, well then I guess I do move to, like, here. Take the shot and just hope that it's good enough. 40%. I think a graze... Okay, I was going to say, I think a graze does not do it. So that did need to be a real hit. Okay, we probably will not lose more than 1 unit. Yeah, I figured there was a pretty good chance that he was going to do that instead of blowing this up, but we tried. So this would immobilize him, which does not help. Like, it doesn't do anything for us to get that guy immobilized. We don't have a lot of explosives. If we run over and grenade him... Cripple is... Which one is cripple? Minus 30% accuracy. Actually pretty good. There's a range of 3 tiles, so actually can't do it to him, though. The range for that ends here. And there's no tile we can get to where we can hit him with that ability. That's a real shame. That said, we do have a pretty solid... ability to just open up on him. I don't know that it's going to be enough, though. Like, he's going to survive a tremendous amount of damage. Alright, I'm going to run this guy up into the open. Try to draw his triple attack here onto a unit that he won't actually kill with it. And then we'll just give him everything. Maybe between all of us we'll get enough damage in. Yeah, actually, we're totally fine. This thing is very scary. In that case, a graze would have been more than sufficient. Okay, so I did end up losing our runner. Not ideal. A tactical supply charge. Resupply target-friendly unit, resetting its once-per-battle abilities and cooldowns. That actually seems pretty relevant for us as a thing that we could use on the Overseer. And then do I think we could take these guys at the same time? Almost all of our units are at full health. I think we could probably just roll in and fight these guys. 2 Frenzied, a Biomancer, and one of those Lancers, which are pretty cool. Yeah, I think we can take it. I think this is under control. We might want to manual this again. It's possible that me manualing it is just costing us units. But we gotta get used to the feel of our units. We gotta understand how to run a sensible combat with these guys, because at some point, the combats are actually going to be difficult. And when that happens, we have to be performing. So the Psytech grenade does not have Demolisher. It's not like a cover-destroying grenade. Which means that at the moment, the only way we really have to deal with cover is like pushing behind the enemy with one of our indentured and arc power blasting them out of their cover. That's a tough one. Okay, so this is a single action thing. Our hero is actually extremely tough, and it's perfectly reasonable to just commit him deep into combat to serve as a forward cover station. I think I'm going to move to here, especially since if they go after him but they fail to kill him, the healing drone is so incredibly powerful. Okay, I didn't necessarily want him to turn and face that. I wasn't really thinking about what that would do to his facing. Can anybody... It really set up my units in a terrible way. Like, it set all of the indentured one space too far away to get cover and then Overwatch with 2 action points. And the only guy who is in range to get there that fast is the guy who doesn't have Overwatch. So that's frustrating. That said, I guess I'm not too worried about ranged attacks right here. Yeah, cover doesn't really do much for us. I guess we'll just stand in the open. I mean, we have shots. Maybe we just start taking bad shots? If I go into Overwatch, we won't shoot at them until they move forward a little bit, and they will not be in cover at least. This is probably better. It's probably better to try to get these shots off on them when they're out in the open. I dare you. I dare you to approach the hero. You don't have the Overwatch option, so we're just going to take a shot here. We actually have a pretty good one. I'm surprised at how good of a shot that is, given the distance. And you guys... Let's just run to... You can't get an attack off no matter what. These dudes do have the Battle Vomit. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with you. I guess I'm going to have you, like, run way forward. Okay. Let's see how they handle this. I'm surprised they were willing to separate by so much. Okay, they scanned the indentured, which is a pretty big deal. We have a lot of indentured. Oh, we almost had enough Overwatches to get a kill there. Okay, that's not too bad. I think we heal you. I mean, it shouldn't be a big problem to kill the really injured one, right? I think we've got that well in hand. Although we're actually having a hell of a time hitting him. Maybe once we put this one down, it'll get a little bit easier. So let's see, we can move you up to here. That does put you in a half cover position, pretty far up and exposed. But it also means that we get to pick some enemies off. Actually, what we might want to do here is just have him shoot and then restore his action points and have him kill the other one. And then we can use the rest of our units to put pressure on these guys. That's not terrible. Yeah, I like it, actually. I've gone from that's not terrible to hey, that's pretty good. Okay, I did not use the scanners. I mean, obviously we didn't need them yet. But if I want to use the scanners, all I can do is move one space forward. I probably... Moving here blocks this path, but I don't know that I care. I don't think it matters much. We may as well turn on the regeneration. And I think I am going to move up here and hit the scanners. This APC is really cool. It's a powerful thing. And then, unfortunately, we just kind of have to commit guys to battle in a way that might result in them getting shot very much. And somebody up here is going to get put to sleep, which is also annoying. This is the unit that has the explosives, right? No, that doesn't look like that's the one that blows up. It just hits really hard with flanking. Okay. So that does make it a little safer to run multiple units up to here. And obviously these guys are pretty exposed from this angle, which is potentially a problem. But we have to commit. We have to start getting damage done. I'm not too worried about this. We've got this battle well in hand. And the runner... Does the runner just run up the side of the battlefield? And we can press this the Lancer if it comes forward to fire. I think that's good. I don't know if it was right to shield up or if it would have been better to just run forward. Oof, that does hurt. Okay, first things first, obviously. What an extremely powerful unit ability. Alright, these guys gave us the perfect flank shot. Yeah, see, those guys turned around when they got hit with the flank. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out why that happens sometimes and not other times. Okay, well done, everyone. How do we want to do this? Yeah, I'm not... Obviously, not too concerned about the Overwatch. I am loving this choice we made on our hero. What an incredibly powerful thing. It's absolutely worth the 2 perk points. And I also totally see why they charge you 2 perk points. Alright, we're already out here making friends. It's been a big couple of turns. So, Infantry Commander is probably pretty good this early in the game. We don't necessarily need to focus on offensive stuff because our hero's attack isn't really that great, and all of the other abilities are really good. Operation strength is increased by 6 on operations that target sectors with this hero in them. Wow, that seems really great, actually. But I think maybe let's take infantry commander right now. Just really play up that support role. And then we just visited this thing, so we should... I think probably we should have gotten the buff from that. Yes, we totally did. Okay, cool. I don't know who we will fight next, but they will really wish we hadn't fought them so well. And I think I'm going to go ahead and disconnect our runner. This guy can go out and scout. The army doesn't really need him. So that's another Paragon unit there. We can ask them to vacate things, right? And it costs some amount of... Okay. That's not too... We don't care so much about this one. I just wanted to see what it was. But we will totally do that with those other guys down here, so that we can take control of the crankshaft industrial plant. And you... Let's see, enforcers and... Oh, we can't train overseers right now. That seems important. The overseer is a pretty good unit. Definitely heard some kind of sound over here. Something is stomping around in the darkness. Okay, a bunch of bonus energy. Not really the thing that I was looking for at this point in the game. Why don't we make another unit to join the army? They can pick it up as they run past. Do we want a second overseer? They have pretty useful abilities, but there's something to be said for just like increasing the volume of fire. Or we could build another runner for the army. Actually, I like having a runner in the army. I like having a unit in the army whose whole job is to just absorb hits from enemies, draw fire away from the other stuff. Maybe a little bit less aggressively than we have had them do it in the past. Okay, a production stash is great. You discover this transport was carrying blueprints and materials to make 2 different weapons. Unfortunately, you find that most materials have deteriorated over time. There's only enough left to manufacture one of the weapons. And I'm not allowed to look at my city or anything, huh? I don't know what the production cost of that unit we're building is off the top of my head. If this amount of production takes it from a 2-turn build to a 1-turn build, that would be pretty significant. I doubt it will be enough. I'm going to take the crystal shotgun. We don't even have a use for it right this second, but I think it's a good item in general. Like 16 damage, high accuracy, the chain lightning effect. What does the old jetpack do? I mean, it gives you a jump, yeah. That also seems good. I'm going to grab the crystal shotgun. We don't need it right this second, but it will be good eventually. And then let's just keep exploring. They can't see him, right? I'm pretty sure. So we don't quite have the influence to get these guys to move, probably. We could, like, run around and fight dudes. We would probably win this fight, although maybe not by as much as I would like. I mean... Okay, negotiate is 42 influence. It's right there in the tooltip. That's actually extremely nice of them. Yeah, I guess the most sensible thing to do with this army is to go over here and blow these guys up then. And if we... I'm going to go ahead and auto-combat this. Okay, just curious. Wanted to get a feel for it, and this felt like a real low-risk situation to me. We almost lost a unit. Yeah, please, build the skirmisher barracks with that. So we have access now to enforcers. They have a move called Bone Crusher. That's got to be pretty good. Those guys look very goofy. Launch a shockwave of psionic energy that crashes into the target unit. Cripple, stagger. I mean, it's a 3-range ability. That's cool. And then Psi-Tech Strike, of course. Exactly what you would expect a psychic melee attack to be. These guys seem okay. Alright, so we're just looking for any caches of resources that don't have things parked on them right now. Restores full health. You know what, sure. Go and restore the tiny amount of health that you are missing. And then I'm gonna not move directly adjacent to this guy. It says that the stealth makes it so he cannot be seen on any tile. Probably it's fine to move him adjacent. Probably he won't get attacked, but I'm definitely nervous. No, you know what? Probably it's fine. It doesn't say that it doesn't work when they're adjacent. I feel like we have seen a number of occasions where the tooltips do not always relate all of the information that you would like. Go and destroy this wildlife nest for an old backpack, or an old jetpack, and also some other stuff. I can do that. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to go for it right now. It's a lot of units. They don't have a ton of health. I mean, we could try it. Okay, so we do want to do this, right? We want to use 5 tactical operations. We want to apply mods. Like, this thing, I'm not super wild about. It's fine as far as doctrines go. We don't have any doctrines right now, so it would be better than having the slot empty. But a free item does seem like a good idea. Yeah, we could attack them. Let's go ahead and do it. Here at the unbreakable range. Their army power is actually higher than mine is. And we have that guy who's really injured, although he won't be really injured pretty shortly. They're probably too tough, though. They seem like they're dangerous. Do we know where we would want to even build a new colony? I mean, we could build out here at the Frigid Fields and expand into the Center for Mental Acuity, which seems pretty great. And then also there's not a lot of great stuff nearby, but expansion in general seems good. That means we don't really want to be building a military unit right now. We'll come and get this, but I'm just going to head over toward these guys. I probably don't want to equip these mods just yet, because they're expensive. You pick up Guild Assassins, that'll give us our first sniper unit. Infiltrate the enemy army's sensory systems and gain vision on them for 5 turns. I don't know that I think that that's worth the cost. I mean, I'm sure there are situations where it would be nice. Universal camouflage for an army for 2 turns. That seems like a thing that I can see more uses for that. Psionic attacks from this unit leave a debuff on their target, making that unit 20% easier to hit. Really powerful. Psionic buffs from this unit make friendly units 20% harder to hit. Yeah, that's a good mod. And then Focus Flames. I think we've seen this tech before, right? Because we had access to the Psionics line with the Kirko. Cleansing Pulse is a little bit less necessary since we have a unit that's good at cleansing. This unit is immune to all negative morale effects and gains stagger resistance, and is now enlightened, which is a thing that has to do with people being soul burned, right? Target friendly unit is dispelled of negative status effects and heals for 10, and also for an additional 5 for each enlightened unit in battle. That's actually pretty cool. So this is an AoE dispel. This is a dispel and a heal on a single target. Or we could just push for better units. Push through Enforced Control into our higher tier units. I'm inclined to do that just so that we can see what kind of cool stuff we have access to. Yeah, let's head that way. And if we were going to equip all of these guys with exploitative targeting systems, you know what? I'll do that. That's worth doing. It's a big enough buff that it's worth doing. Okay, so do we want to grab Noble Diplomats? We're not at peace with anybody just yet. Probably it makes more sense to start getting our exploitations ready to go. Okay, and you... Oh, hey, that is... No, it's not unguarded. It sure looked like we already had vision of that tile. What is this? Oh, Fallout. Okay, maybe let's not end our turn in there. Ooh, what is this thing? Visiting units gain 2 to all resistances. That's okay. There is a free source of energy behind it, which we will eagerly take. And next turn we'll be able to ask these guys politely to move. So I guess this army can just look around a little bit. Found ourselves a DNA vault. Ooh, visiting units gain a big experience boost. I like that quite a bit. Next to the energy pods, we found a nearly depleted but still intact unit, a Sentinel. Which guy is the Sentinel? Oh, one of these things. One of these crummy little dudes. Use the pods to power it up under your control, ignore it, and loot the pods for 24 energy, which I don't think is the right option. Definitely not. Or use the pods to power up and free it, which will impact your reputation. This is not a very good unit, and this is a very small amount of a resource we don't really need much of. So yeah, reputation. Reputation up. Look at that, we're already working on our thing. There's an abyssal tear in this sector. Annexing this sector really sucks. Units in this sector don't regen. Vision... oh man, vision is reduced considerably. Okay. Synumbra marauders spawn here to raid their surroundings. That seems like a real pain in the butt. Okay. Just kind of getting a sense of how bad it is over here. Other people are completing the emissary. You know, I'm working on it. I'm working toward it. I'm working toward a thing that is similar to it. Okay. Now we have the influence to politely ask these guys to get out of my way. Nope, I'm out of movement. And yes, I do in fact have a unit with low morale. He needs to get out of there. So we're seeing a couple of Cosmite rifts. This might be a game where I want to get ocean exploitation a little bit faster. Use it to find out where it leads. Or just press this button that shows you where it leads. Both of those things are acceptable. Alright, let's actually claim this thing. Please, vacate. Ooh, a free Inferno Launcher. Absolutely. I love a good Inferno Launcher. Alright, that took longer than I would have liked, but we finally got there. And, man, early happiness events are just really, really nice. What is this? This is a Cosmite stash, not a rift. Okay. Well, we might want to have our army come down here, because... ooh, production stash. So we have a big production windfall in the capital. Yeah, 99 rollover thanks to that. I'm not sure exactly what we'll build with it. You know what? That's a question for next time. I think we've got kind of a foundation established. It looks to me like our army needs to come back home, because marauders. We've got kind of an idea of what's going on with this faction. I think this is going to be a fun game, and it'll be interesting to dig into the diplomacy mechanics a little bit more, get a better understanding of them. But that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time tomorrow to see if we can finally maybe make a friend for the first time. And we'll see you then.